Hello everyone, Discord here, and welcome to another real-life zoo tour. Today we are in Breda, where there's a small little reptile house, and I am joined by Leaf Productions. Or
Hello,
just Leaf nowadays.
Everyone. Yes, I no longer produce anything. I had that revoked from me.
Alright, that's 2 episodes in a row I mess up my guest's name. That's great. So here we are. We are in the middle of a suburb, and there's just this small, container building thing converted to reptile house, and we're walking up to it with all these little dinosaur toys.
I gotta say, this is the cutest little intro ever. Just like all the tiny dinosaur toys, this is excellent.
Yeah, to be honest, the aesthetic of this place is incredible. Just look at all these statues and the wood, and there's a little greenhouse over there we'll look at in the end.
And that's that's something
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. That's something I always love about these tiny places, because I've been going to so many of them. It's just, even if they don't have a lot of space, they just do such a wonderful job with trying to make the most of it. And look at all this. Oh my gosh.
This is incredible. So outside we saw a little outdoor area for these guys. These are the African Spur tortoises.
The
boys. And yeah, just overall the aesthetic of this place. Like, this is a very new, I think roughly 10 or so years old reptile house. And it is 100% a passion product of the owners. Like, they just collected reptiles, and at one point, I think it was the son, and it was like a son and a dad, and the son was like, we should make a reptile house. And they started increasing their collection, making exhibits, and just, yeah, it is a passion project, and you can tell it looks beautiful.
Even through, all the beautiful terrariums and stuff, you can tell that it's not just, some places I've been to have been kind of just throw a bunch of crap in, a habitat and call it a day. No, I would even qualify this as art. Each one seems like a beautiful living landscape.
Yes.
And it looks like the animals have a lot of room. What are these, the leopard tortoises?
These, we earlier saw an Asian water monitor. In here we have a bearded dragon, blue-tongued skink, a leopard tortoise, and also a little frilled neck lizard over there. All the way in the corner, because that one's a bit more afraid of people, so they gave it a larger exhibit as well. But yeah, these exhibit boxes are, I think, bigger than the ones we have in Planet Zoo, which you don't see often.
They were on to something over there. But I assume those are little toys and activities for the kids to play with.
There's just little toys around. Over here we have the Gila Monster. Fantastic little animal as well.
I've never seen them in that kind of morph before. It seems so dark.
Yeah, true.
It's so cool. But yeah, this is gorgeous. All the I've been noticing all the signage is top notch too.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty simple with just plastified paper, but it's great. And you can notice there's some QR codes on the signs as well. Those are, if you scan the QR code, you get to read the same information, but you can select different languages, which I think is a pretty neat way to
so awesome.
Have a small, simple sign, but still have it available for internationals as well by doing it that way.
Oh, so is that all faux wood and stuff like that, or driftwood?
I don't know if it's faux. I think it's real wood.
That's incredible.
It looks really good, at least. If it's faux, then it's amazingly done. But yeah, here we have some palm turtles.
That's an incredible pool for them too. I love seeing that. And all the natural plants around that.
Yeah.
I think that's really what sells it in here for me. It's just all this beautiful, beautiful mix of they not only do they care about the animals, but they also care about the plants, and I just love seeing that.
And just the variety between exhibits as well. Each one has its own little thing going on, I feel like. So here we have the ball python, or the royal python.
Nice.
And just all these props on top as well. Little skulls and shells.
It does such a good job at education. Yeah, when did you go here?
Mother's Day.
Nice.
I took my mom.
Perfect.
Yes,
my mom would kill me if I ever bring her to a reptile zoo, let alone a zoo.
Yeah.
Oh, but this is awesome.
Exactly. Look, a golden statue. They
Yeah.
unlocked the challenge modes.
Stop.
But yeah, no, yeah, and it's like, it was very empty while I was here, which was great for recording, but I think, like, overall, you see there's, like, things for kids to do, the little toys, we saw some coloring books, and we'll also see in a bit, they've got, like, presentations where they just gather all the guests to this central space, and they're like, look, we're gonna look at this animal right now.
And that's something that I love to see about, like, these reptile-specific places, because a lot of them can be used as ambassador animals.
Exactly.
And being able to give those people, like, I thought that was real for a second.
No, that one's taxidermy, no.
Oh, God.
The real animal here was the Reptile Python over here.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Reptile boa,
He's gorgeous. Yeah. But, yeah, were you able to even talk to the staff at all, since you said it was kind of dead? Nice.
That's the great thing about this place, is there were like 3 or 4 staff members walking around, half at work, but also like they purposefully give the staff members enough time in their schedules to just talk to visitors, and it's part of their job to just ask or answer any questions that they are asked, stuff like that. So here we have an African bullfrog.
Oh, the boy.
Really cool. But yeah, the staff takes so much time, like, talking to you, explaining to you. Like, I spoke to all of them pretty much, and they were so nice and so informative, and they could tell you so much about the animals, and I love that. That's just something you kind of miss in larger zoos, where staff are just too busy taking care of the animals.
I get so much flack for saying that there's, like, small zoo charm in these places. By the way, love these little guys.
Yes.
Love the little stick insects.
Yes.
Look at this little dance. But no, the small zoo charm is real when you get places like this that deal with all the animals every single day, and they usually get, like, a small to medium amount of traffic, I assume. So it's a lot more personable, and that's something I really discovered throughout, like, you know, my travels this year of going to, like, all these different places. There's so much benefit to, like, the small zoo charm and small, I guess, reptile house charm in this case. It's just super awesome. And just being able to, like, talk to a keeper with a stick insect on them. That's super cool.
It's so cool. And you get to, like, here's me, you get to hold him yourself as well. And she explains so well, like, hey, you can see that his tail's, like, curling up, and that's, like, imitating a scorpion, so that other animals leave it alone. And she explained that so well, and actually by able to, like, look at it and see it in this way, it's such a vivid memory at that point. Like, you don't ever forget this. I did have it the last, like, 2 big zoos I went to. Some of the last 2 big. I've been to a lot of zoos recently, but at Ouwehans and Breda, we'll see that in videos to come at some point. They also have these little touch tables with volunteers letting you touch some taxidermy, some things like that, and really showing and explaining that. And those sort of encounters and experiences are so important, if you ask me, because they really just, teach you so much about these animals.
Right. And it's just super awesome for kids, and not only kids, but, like, adults as well, who, like, I know we're relatively well-versed. I know people watching this are probably well-versed in, like, their animal facts and stuff, but having those experiences as a kid, or even, like, someone who isn't really too accustomed to, like, zoology and stuff, that's got to be life-changing right there. To be, like, learning about all this stuff.
Exactly. So here we have, I think this is a black spiny-tailed iguana juvenile.
Ooh.
And there's also green iguana and red-footed tortoise in here.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I totally agree with you. And you say, like, for kids, no. I'm fully convinced that adults are equally inspired by those sort of things, and they need to be more involved in doing that sort of stuff, if you ask me.
And that's something that I wish, like, bigger zoos had a much larger dedication to. Because I know they get, like, so much high traffic. Like, you know, you go to the Bexabergen like almost every single day, and I go to Roger Williams almost every single day. But I feel like there's something lacking in, like, that one-on-one experience that you don't really get too often in these larger institutions. But it's so great to see that small places like this and Iguana Land that I went to over in Florida are able to bring you one-to-one with the animals, and I just think that's one of the coolest things ever, just being able to have those memories and experiences.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a problem of scale as well. You can't scale this up to a large zoo like that because you need so many employees and so many animals that it also would raise some questions of ethics, like, is this animal okay with being touched by 1,000 people every day?
Of course, yeah.
So, but I mean, I do think that those zoos are, like, Beeksberg is definitely trying to find ways to make those experiences happen.
That's super awesome.
Like, of course, the car safari is a big one of those. But yeah, look at these like boys.
Oh, man.
I love how he's just not using his hind legs.
He knows he doesn't have to. He's just conserving his energy.
Beautiful.
Oh, man. This is gorgeous, though.
Yeah. And then
is there anything upstairs?
Yes. We'll go there in a second.
Oh,
so this is the last ground floor exhibit, the last of those big ones. And this one is for the dwarf crocodile, African dwarf crocodile.
Oh, that's a beautiful species right there.
What I found really interesting is that those prickly stick insects, when they get too many of those, they actually feed them to the crocodile as well. He loves them.
That's... Oh, man, I love that.
Yeah, so one last look at the ground floor. You can see a place to hang your coats, toilets on that side. Over there is the staff room. I asked if I could have a look inside, but they were busy, because they do special, like, behind-the-scenes arrangements you can purchase to, like, you know, follow, be a keeper for a day, basically. So you get to work with the keepers and feed some of the animals.
Wow.
That sort of stuff. And that, I think, would be an incredible experience, speaking of those. I
think it would, too, yeah. How far are you from this place?
It's close to my parents' house. Like, we cycled here, basically. So it's like a half hour, not even half hour cycling trip.
That's awesome.
Yeah, over here we have the Kuviersdorf caiman.
The lad. I love him.
This one does have a bit of a smaller exhibit compared to the dwarf crocodile, especially.
I haven't really noticed Cuviers having, like, large exhibits.
Fair.
I feel like they don't really need them. Or at least they don't really get them too often.
And yeah, over here, let's see, this is the Ambonia silfin lizard and the frilled-neck lizard.
Let's go.
So we saw one of the frilled-necks earlier. So they're normally in this exhibit, but that one got a little stressed out from all the people. So that's why they put him in that larger exhibit, so he can kind of just hide in the corner a bit. But yeah, I think this is one of the frilled-necks. And I think we'll also see one of the silfin. Yeah, I think this is a silfin.
They're beautiful creatures. Oh my gosh.
Alright, so quick intermission. We got called downstairs because the red-tailed boa was getting a little snack. So yeah, and here we can see this is a little kid is holding the mouse at the moment because they paid for the arrangement. There you go. Snap.
Oh, that's... Oh. Discord kind of, like, freaked out over there for a few seconds. But it was like, it just grabbed him. That's awesome.
It was so... I think that may not have been Discord. It really was just that quick jerk.
Oh, damn.
And what they also do, you saw, like, they poke it after he grabbed it. Because, of course, they feed him a dead mice. But to give him the sensation of having a fresh kill, they kind of let the mouse move a little bit with that stick, so it feels like it's spazzing out a little bit. But yeah, this took a little while. he like starts to lick it. I think it took like 5 to 10 minutes for him to finally start eating it.
It's fine. I play with my food too. It's totally natural. But that's super cool though.
It was so cool to see this.
I don't think I've ever seen like a boa eat in real life before. So this just makes me very jealous. It's super awesome. Oh, man.
The worst thing was, like, this is a little later. At this point, most of the visitors already moved on because it already was taking so long for it to get to this point. But I was sitting here patiently, just watching him eat it. And this is the final bite over here.
Oh, my gosh.
Just... it's so crazy. Like, you read about it, you hear about it, but to see it, like, unhinged.
Yeah, 'cause
like
it's
this.
like so unlike what we're used to. Because like even seeing animals that we deal with on like a daily basis, like your dogs, your cats, even people too. I mean, I've seen some people kind of eat like this. I admit I can probably eat like this, but it's so alien to see.
Yeah, like
and like look at that, how like it contracts it downwards, just to see how that's able to happen. That's wild.
yeah. It's
The little feet hanging out. Oh my! I'm losing it at that.
It's so graphic, but yeah, that was pretty much that. So over
That's
here,
awesome,
the Spur tortoises were getting fed as well. So these
Nice.
kids were allowed to take the little bowl. Oh wait, no, these weren't these aren't the tortoises. These are the iguanas.
Here we go.
The iguanas and the red-footed tortoise were getting a little meal. And the kid was being instructed very clearly to put it not on the side, but in the... Oh no, wait, no, they do have to put it on the side so that they don't block the walking route of the tortoises. Yeah, gave it a little pet.
Very interesting.
Moved on.
I know that at our local zoo, whenever they bring the tortoises out and stuff like that, I know for like we have like brew at the zoo, that's like where you can walk around, get some beer and stuff like that. They had stations with all of our ambassador tortoises, and they had these big brushes because their spines, like they have nervous system in their shells.
Yeah.
And whenever you brush them, it like makes them so happy. Like it's getting a nice little back scratch.
Yes.
So that's just super awesome to have right
I
there.
mean,
Tortoises are
you know the
golden.
videos, right, of the little tortoises wiggling their butts against the toothbrush.
Yes.
I love those.
The lads.
I love those so much.
Oh my god, the color on him is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Kind of blends in with the salad right there.
Mm-hmm. Going for the tomatoes first.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the red-footed, wow, now I'm just mixing all the tortoises up. The Spur tortoises
good.
were also getting some food over here, and you can see like the white powder on top of the food to give them some extra nutrients and stuff, of course. You see that quite frequently as well.
Those are some big Spur tortoises too.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. They get big.
Third largest tortoise, I think. I'm pretty sure at least.
They're among the... And this was nice to see the locking mechanism over there.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty simple. But
super awesome for realistic builds in the good old Planet Zoo and stuff. Love seeing that. Oh, here we go.
And here we go for the next animal encounter with the ball python. Of course, not the... Like, it's just a dangerous snake. This is one of the most commonly kept house snakes. House pets snakes. So yeah, you got to touch those. I thought it was pretty cool. I'd never touched a ball python before. I had only...
They're super cool.
I had a red snake around me at the Odimo reptile house, but...
Because there's like so much more weight to them.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to say as well. These are a lot thicker and a lot...
When I'm seeing you over here. When I was in Morocco, I went to Marrakesh, and I went to the big square. I think it's Jamil, I forget. But in there, they have like all these animal ambassadors. I guess you could kind of... That's not really. It's more like animal slavery at that point. But still, I had this man run up to me with a black snake. And I was like, oh, God, what are you doing? And he was like, let me put it on you. Let me put it on you. And I was like, oh, God, okay. When a man runs up to you with a snake, you're like, okay, I got to do whatever this guy says. But it was so freaky. Oh, my God.
This was also really, like, you could see his tongue, like, in my face. Like, I couldn't see what he was doing. Like, he was going all the way behind me. All I could feel was the tongue on my cheek. It's like,
That's
okay,
awesome,
what's he doing? But yeah, I don't know why, because last time I had a snake around me, it also went all over the place. I don't know what it is with me and snakes, but
they just like you.
They like me, I guess.
Yeah.
I really want a pet snake later in life.
Same.
It's gonna be amazing. But yeah, we're back upstairs now. That was the last encounter, and here we have, I think, some kind of water monitor. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell in editing what the sign said. But yeah, just another of these smaller exhibits. And
the habitats are so good too, with like the
Yes.
full glass. I love seeing that.
Yeah, and they, like, I think the owner was like a window maker. That was his profession. And so he made all of the
perfect.
terrariums himself, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because like they're not standardized. It looks like they're custom made for each and every one.
Yeah, and for
That's
the
awesome.
building as well, like it fits perfectly and everything. But yeah, that was, by the way, the blue spotted tree monitor. And over here
Nice.
we have the jungle carpet python, which
Ooh.
is also really lovely in coloration and such. And they were all so active, like moving around and stuff.
And that's super awesome to get, especially in like reptile zoos and stuff like that. Just getting the active ones, it's super awesome to see.
It's very common that you'll just go and nothing moves, and you wonder if there was even a real animal.
Because I don't know if you heard that, but what the Bronx Zoo did sometimes, if their insects die, they just leave them in there and they keep it signed. And I figured, you know what, it's fine. It's fine, they don't really move anyways. But this is awesome. I love the full glass terrarium.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't see any of that.
So this was weird as hell. This is the reticulated python. And he was just all up against the glass, like...
They're such weird little creatures.
Little?
Well, you know what I mean.
These guys eat humans.
It's fine. Just funny little guy.
Funny little guy. Yeah, he was just showing off his length. But yeah, this is of course a much bigger terrarium, probably. I think one of the biggest for the upstairs area. Because of course these guys get really big.
God, it's such a beautiful pattern on them too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the reticulated python is the longest or the... I think it's the longest, and then another type of python is the heaviest snake in the world.
I think the anaconda, probably green anaconda, is like the heaviest.
That's true. Yeah, that's
Could be mistaken, but...
I'm pretty sure you're onto something there.
Oh yeah. I would hope so. This is awesome.
Just look at how long that thing is.
How was the temperature in here? Was it like warm?
It was fine. I don't think it was particularly hot. It was a pretty warm day. It's already been a while since I've gone. But I can imagine that like around now, like we just experienced a heat wave, it will probably be a bit warmer inside, because it is like this metal kind of building with a glass roof.
Oh god, must get toasty.
I bet that gets
probably
toasty.
Good for the reptiles, though, at least.
Yeah, they probably don't mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we come to one of my favorites. We've got this tiny terrarium again, but we've got this this ad for a candy brand. I'm not sure if it's an actual ad or if it's just a little joke, but the joke is that the panther chameleon over here has kind of the same colors as that brand of candy, but just look at this guy. The colors on this one are so incredible.
Now this is super interesting, because I'm not sure if you're supposed to keep chameleons in glass enclosures, but it seems to be a really, really healthy individual. Like, all the colors are bright, he seems well fed. That's very interesting. I think it may help that, like, that glass is kind of segmented. That's just kind of neat right there.
Wait, why aren't you supposed to keep chameleons in glass enclosures?
I think it has something to do with the reflections, and it may have something to do with, like, the temperature. I'm not really sure. I think I could ask our friend Annika about that. It's, like, in the back of my mind where, like, all the chameleon enclosures, that is gorgeous right there, too.
Yeah.
Just like the skylight. Oh, my God. But I think it has to, like, be mesh, so, like, the airflow is nice and, like, the humidity. I forget. Maybe I'm just making this stuff up. I don't know. He's a very handsome individual.
Yeah. So here we have a Chinese water dragon, also a handsome little boy, as you said. And I think this is a savanna monitor.
Alright.
So you can see it's a lot more sandy, and just, the wood, just those chunks of wood are so freaking beautiful.
God, that's gorgeous. Just like, oh my god. It feels homey in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel clinical at all, which I really like.
That's actually something I can talk about, because I talked about that with the employees, about kind of the design philosophy of this place.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's looking very... It's not clinical, but it's very clean, modern.
Yeah.
And what their goal was with these habitats and with the overall aesthetic of the place was, reptiles are often perceived as being kind of dirty. Oh, here we have the plumed basilisk, by the way. But yeah,
God.
reptiles are often perceived as like scary and dirty and stuff like that. And they wanted to fight that perception by making these very clean, very nice looking exhibits for them, to kind of get rid of that stigma in a sort of way.
They did a really good job at that.
Yeah.
Like, look at all this.
Yeah.
That's insane. Because, yeah, I know, like, at least in America, I'm sure it kind of translates over to Europe, too.
Mm-hmm.
Reptiles are still, like, seen as kind of negative. Like, at most people like your bearded dragons and your leopard geckos, but besides that,
Yeah,
there's still, like, the stigma against them, especially snakes.
Especially snakes,
recently.
yep. I was talking about this place with my sister, and I was like, yeah, you should go. And she was like, nope, I heard snake, I'm not going. And I'm like, oh, come on.
I love it. But yeah, I think, like, places like this, and, like, the location, too, where it's, like, in the middle of, like, a nice, beautiful suburb, I think that really helps it, too, like... I don't know. And, like, the aesthetic of this place kind of makes me think, like, some of the design philosophy, whether it's intentional or not, shows, like, how well it can blend in with, like, a nice home or something like that. Because, again, it feels very homey. And, like, all these terrariums, while they're big, they blend in very nice and very well with the surrounding landscapes. I love that little seating area. I'm just, like, looking at it again. It's gorgeous.
I think we're running up to the end. Just
right.
Yeah, we just saw upstairs. The last animal we saw was the Hispaniolan rhinoceros iguana. At least that's what I think it was. And now I'm just looking at the last things, like the little gift shop and the little place where you can get some tea.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, nothing major. I mean, they know that people aren't gonna spend like more than an hour or two here. I think that's about how long we were here. So you're not going to have like a huge restaurant or anything, because...
I love the little dinosaurs. I'm sorry. They're the cutest.
They're great, yeah. But yeah, about the homey feeling, I think I agree with you, but I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing, because I'm under the impression that even though we want to get rid of that negative feeling to these animals, you don't want people to start all getting these animals as pets.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Like things like some snakes, like the ball python, like it's so common now that I think there's not that much harm to it. But a lot of the more exotic reptiles, like those chameleons and stuff like that, you don't want to.
It's me.
it's you, the leaf insect.
You're gorgeous. But no, I do agree. Like, there's a lot of animals that shouldn't really be in that pet trade, but I don't know, I'm just happy that this place is really taking on, like, a nice look to bring them to, like, the family, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but that's super cool. Look at them fight.
Yeah. So these ones you weren't allowed to hold yourself, because they are a little too tender, but they did bring them out to show, which was cool. Yeah, it got hot enough at the end of the day for the Spur tortoises to go outside. They finished their meal, so to say.
Oh, you can tell, yeah.
And they even got close enough that you were able to pet them. It's a really weird texture.
Really?
It's kind of like your fingernails, I guess. It's the closest I can describe. But it was really cool. I'm happy. And of course they have enough room to move away from visitors if they don't want to be touched. So it's kind of up to the animal.
And that's always great to have.
Yeah.
Lots of nice hiding spaces too, it seems, because you have like that rock in the middle.
Yeah, and some plants
That's
as
super
well.
awesome, wow. You're such fun little guys. I was able to pet one a couple of weeks ago, and they're just the cutest little guys ever.
Yeah, they're fucking awesome. And yeah, now we're just gonna have a little look at the outside part of the garden. So there's some cool statues.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Crocodile taking on a prey. And here we have that little greenhouse.
Ooh, yeah, is that just a greenhouse, no animals?
I don't think there's any animals inside. What is inside
good.
is some awesome little plants, cacti, some succulents, stuff like that. And I saw some animal skeletons, I think, some bones. Yeah, you can see little crocodile bones. maybe there used to be a crocodile here. It probably died due to a lack of water in this desert.
That's super awesome, though.
Just a cool little plant. And then I think somewhere around here must be a door to what I think that might just be the owner's house or something. I'm not sure.
What a commute. I'm jealous. That's beautiful, though.
So yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you for having me on. This was a really awesome trip.
Thanks for joining me. And of course, if you don't know Leaf already, then what are you doing? But you can find his channel link in the description and all that sort of stuff. So
thank you.
That was it.
All right. See you
Bye-bye.
guys.
See you.